Hey guys, I'm Reyfar, and tonight I'm going to talk about. It's been a few weeks. Um, I guess mostly because I've just been reading things that aren't very. Especially like I read Dune, I watched a few movies, some TV articles and podcasts, and just getting like literature fix elsewhere. And so it's And so yeah, and I'm like, oh, I want something light. I want something just gay, very romance. So I'm like, okay, I've obviously got a few, but I want like a novella or novel. And I'm like, okay, there was Scene Spots back in the day, by Andres Cyanni Halden, or Cyanni as he's commonly known. And I'll probably, if I can, whatever. It's a nice illustration. I don't know if I'll bother to, put a picture in or whatever, but you can just look it up. I'm too lazy, and yes, I'm like, I remembered it because a few years ago now. It came out in 2010, 2011, and I think it was an early like kind of novella range. I don't think it was part of the Cupcakes or anything like that. And I think it was after he did the is it the Hallowed Wars series or the Transcending series? But that series of novels he did, which I haven't read, but I don't know if I'll get round to it. Hopefully I will, like everything. And yeah, so I just remembered it from a few years ago. I'm like, okay, that sounded nice, and I vaguely, ever so vaguely, a review saying it was a nice story. It was a bit normal, but it was a nice story. I'm like, okay, I'll get it. So yeah, Scene Spots is a little bit of a light romance novel. It follows Theo as he goes to college, and I think one of the first few notes, he goes to a open frat party, and hands out funds. He's not worried about. Oh, he's trying to find out if it's okay to be openly gay, because he's openly gay at home with his friend and whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of cool. It's not, oh, I'm the only gay in the village. And he ends up a little bit of a zany antics. Finds out a lot of them kind of gay, and then there's a bit of a mystery surrounding the club president, and he ends up. Yeah, he ends up in bed and with the club president and stays the night, and then so Khan, who's the club president, he's the snow leopard, and that is important because he got a fortune cookie during the opening because he went to Chinese with his roommate friend Anslem, and he got a fortune cookie that said he'd be seeing spots all around. And then they made a joke in bed, and then yeah, he met the snow leopard, and he became his boyfriend, and then and yeah, and I don't know, I don't want to spoil it. Not there's much to spoil, but and yeah, it's a simple relationship story about these two people, and yeah, so. I don't want to be. Well, I guess I'll preface this main part as like I don't want to be like overly beating up on it, like bashing it, because personally I didn't enjoy it too much, which I'll go into. But as a nice little novella, like I picked it up as an ebook, as you can tell on my phone, and it's a nice little story, like yeah, it was a nice little story. I like the idea behind it. That was definitely fun. But I guess that's as much I can say kind of positive about it. You know, if you haven't read much, go get this. But I don't know. If you kind of come from me where okay. No, it's a nice little story. I don't know if I'd recommend it, especially over other things. sounds mean, but yeah. So I guess I will go into a little bit what I didn't like about it. Which is like there's like big fins and little fins, and I don't know. I was talking to one of my friends that, like, sort of like the core ideas behind it. I like it. Like, I like the main characters kind of living in the poverty line, and he starts dating a senator's son unbeknownstly, beknownstly, or however you pronounce it. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I like his point of view, and I kind of like his character. I just think it's in the story could have been a lot more fleshed out. Like, I think my main gripe is there was very little friction or complication, and I think actually one thing, at least for me, is that reading this is a good example of, like, here's how you can go wrong in writing. Like, there's a lot of show don't tell. There's a lot of times I got lost as a reader. Like, in terms of sudden scene changing, I won't draw any examples because I think that would be a bit too rude. But there was one scene where he was talking to his roommate friend in his dorm room, and then the sentence ended, and then it started with something. Like, I thrust my knot in hard, and I'm thinking, whoa, is he fucking his roommate? And then, like, the sentence continues. He's like, no, he's fucking his boyfriend, and I'm like, well, why can't we open this with, like, him saying, like, oh, I left, then I went to his place, and then we went up to the room, we started fucking, or just like some introduction. You're like, I don't know, maybe maybe you're making it streamlined, but I think there's better ways to do it. I know one of my big problems is that, one thing I get is, like, it's a furry world. You want to think of kind of things to differentiate it, like what would the language and the social structure be like in a furry world. Those are fun things to explore. But you also need to remember that the reader isn't furry. We're not animal people. As much as we want to escape into these worlds and pretend we are for a little bit, I mean, I kind of do that all the time. It helps me, like, to pretend I'm a fennec fox person or whatever by reading these stories and live in that world, like as many different authors envision. But yeah, you do need to remember that a lot of, I guess, the cultural connotations and slang behind words and meaning behind words, it's still existent within the reader. I'm probably trying to make this too wordy, but my was okay. Now this is also another confusing thing. It's like, so the writer uses the word bitch to describe, I think, canines. It's like, it's like you'd say, oh, the wolf, the lion. He used it in, like, to referring to a female canine as the bitch. And there's one sentence where that he's meeting the reporter in a hotel room, and the sentence, and it's described as like he was like sitting down, like I looked up and the bitch was walking over to me, and I'm like, whoa. Like, because, like, I still haven't made that mental leap as a reader, and I'm just like, whoa, like, she's a bitch, why is she a bitch? I'm like, oh no, he's doing that thing where, he's referring to her as a female dog because it's like slang in their world, and I'm just like, it's like instantly I'm thinking this character that the author's just introducing is a bitch, is apparently a bad person. I'm like, whoa. And then, like, I dial it back, rework it, I'm like, I get it, but it's like, whoa. And I mean, I don't want to get, like, I don't want to get political, or, I don't know, but, like, not political correctness, but I found a lot of times it came off as really demeaning. Like, he described, he described the male canines as he was a wolf. He was a what's I don't think it was really a wolf. He was a wolf, but if it was a female canine, they were described as a bitch, or she was a bitch. And I'm just like, oh, there's a bit of a double standard there. And yeah, and then another thing that really bugged me is like the few times that there was an issue or drama, and I'm like, finally, like I think there's one point where I'm like halfway through the novella, I'm like, he finds out that he's the son of a senator, or something, because he goes to vote and he sees the guy he votes for has the same last night, and he's like, why didn't you tell me you're the son of a senator? I'm like, yes, finally something's gonna happen. And he's like, oh, he's like, I thought you knew. He's like, do you mind? And he's like, no. I'm like, oh, good. And they go back to, being lovey-dovey. I'm like, oh, was that it? Like, it was solved in, like, the next paragraph. And I'm like, ah. Like, a lot of times it was just, like, shot, like, all the complications were solved in the next paragraph. And, like, other things, I'm like, oh, yeah, that would be a great character moment for that background character there. And then it's like, oh, no, like, oh, okay. Like, okay, just kind of weak sauce bean, and then not to mention the 2 degrees of separation. That's always my biggest kind of gripe when I read stories, is I really hate it when like everyone is intrinsically related to everyone in the story. It's like if you see someone down the street, chances are they know this side character and they'll save the day in the next chapter. I hate stuff like that. I'm like, in real life, not everyone knows everyone. Like, yes, there's a lot of networking and social linking and grouping, but yeah. I don't know what else really bugged me about certain spots. Oh yeah, there's this one really annoying part where it's like there's a few like really weird time warp parts where it's like, oh yeah, they're gonna explain this scene they were leading up to, and then it's like, oh yeah, we went and did that thing without you, reader. I'm like, okay. Where are we now? It's like, oh, okay. And then there's this one part where it's like, it got really third person, like it broke prose. I'm like, it really was really jarring. It's like, oh, and Theo and Theo can't fought a lot like most couples do, and I'm like, oh, did they? When I wasn't looking. What did they fight about? Because I have no idea what it would have been. They got along really well. But so yeah, that's generally my experiences of seeing spots. That's probably a little bit mean, but I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. I think that I feel really bad because I'm reading it. Like, it took me literally days. It was like it wasn't a long story, but it took me days. Like, I'm reading it and like I'm like, I kind of do other things. Like, I started reading 2 other books. I'm like, no, I need to finish reading this. Like, I want to know how it ends. And it's like, I checked the internet. I go read articles. I do anything that wasn't reading this book. I'm like, that sounds horrible. But I don't know. But no, that sounds really damning, but I still do recommend it to a point. If you're not like me and you actually love lovey-dovey stories where everything is perfect and it's a perfect relationship and they love each other and they have sex all the time, even when they probably shouldn't have sex, they should be adults, and respect what his dad was asking, even though his dad was like, oh, I knew you'd have sex anyway. I'm like, oh god. I'm just like, this thing is no one gonna generate any friction here. and oh, don't even get me started on Whiskey Hotel. But no, if you're totally unlike me and you love lovey-dovey stories, go check out Scene Spots. It is in print from Fur Planet at furplanet.com. It is an ebook at baddogbooks.com. I am unsure if it is on the Rabbit Valley site as well, or anywhere else, but a quick Google would probably solve that. So yeah. I do want to read more of Cyanni. I've read short stories, and that I want to read something really more recent, to be honest. Maybe, but yeah, I do want to read him because not everyone's not. I can't like every story. How's that for diplomatic? I've been Reyfar, and I'll catch you later.